Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Oh, so crazy when you burn in hell forever, 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 forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the rebranding, the relaunching of the flagship show of the Boulevard Bullies YouTube channel. Let me see you say, hey, I got my flashlight. I'm PK with the Boulevard Bullies, and we were supposed to do a very special episode, a relaunching, bigger, badder, lamer. Welcome to a professional wrestling podcast. Here comes the lame, by the way. So really, the vision is that the anchor of the flagship program is Larry, and that Sean comes in after every major pay-per-view when there's like a big review to be had, when there's a big thing to be had. However, unbeknownst to us, Larry had a booking conflict, an emergency. So he might join later, he might not. But I am honored to present you, by popular demand, by the way, a man who is going to share with me our SummerSlam thoughts, our mainstream wrestling opinions in a very thoughtful and provocative way. Ladies and gentlemen, ringside Sean, my co-host this evening.
Thank you for having me in this lovely, rainy Thursday evening.
Yo, you know what? I'm happy for the rain because last week my entire personality was becoming about complaining about the heat. Like that was everything and anything I had to offer to anybody I met, friend or stranger alike. It's like, how you doing? Hot. What are you doing later? What are you doing this weekend? Sweating.
Yeah.
So, it could rain all week. It could rain all month, dude. Because the first 2 days of this week, I walked out of my house, and I was like, before the rain broke, I walked out of my house, and I physically, verbally said, ugh.
Yeah. It's not even comfortable hot. It's
humid.
Like miserable hot. Yeah, it's miserable.
You know, they say Arizona 125 dry heat. I'm ready to try that out. Yeah. Because the concrete jungle, sweaty heat, all the exhaust fumes in the air just strangling you.
Yeah.
It's like the earth in our geography is 85 degrees, but it's 105 because of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
I hate it. But then after it rained, dude, it's been like hoodie weather.
Facts. Nice and cool.
My God, I love
Calm, breezy.
I love it.
Enjoyable. Can't wait for the fall if you ask me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I hope that, it could rain all month. Hurricane, whatever. Keep the rain going. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Nice Thursday. I'm home. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I got my brother in front of me. We're going to talk some SummerSlam and some AEW, right?
We'll do a little AEW. AEW's been so bad for so long that I decided to pick up Wednesday shifts because that's how little I care about what's going on.
It's become less enjoyable and more complaining while watching because you know that it could be enjoyable. And you know it once was enjoyable. So to see the state of it now, it's unbearable.
Well, and especially because like the main thing that drew us all to AEW was hating Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And now he's chastised, ashamed, excommunicated. And WWE is like, okay, it feels okay to be watching WWE again. So like that greatly affects the AEW enjoyment level. Because it's like your hate for Vince would allow you to like kind of see past the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. For me, I feel like it's kind of scary because usually when it's calm is when the storm comes. And that worries me for WWE because it's going so good right now.
Well, the feds apparently that case with the woman was like taken out of civil court and the Justice Department is like bugging phones and looking at cloud storage and is like building a case. It's going to be like a federal thing that drops at some point, supposedly.
Well, that's not good for nobody.
Hey,
But I will say I'm enjoying everything that's happening.
I am, and you know what? Without skipping too far ahead, right around the time that Bronson Reed was giving 6 splashes to Sami Zayn on Monday night, I said out loud to myself, and yeah, I had smoked a lot of weed, but I said out loud to myself, wrestling is awesome.
Think it's at its best point that it's been in quite some time.
Well, and even, and listen, let's not talk about our big topic from Tuesday. Let's not talk about
No.
the sexualized nature, but like even more than the Attitude Era, even more than the other booms in time, it feels okay. Like there's no coating of slime about it.
No, there
Like
isn't.
they're honoring the legends. It really does feel sincere. And so before we get into life, because we always like to talk about life, I want to pose you with this question, which I was going to ask later, but I'll ask you right now. It is
Let's hear it.
it's like a kind of a big philosophical question.
Okay.
It's basically like, how sincere is Triple H / how much communication does he have with Vince / is he like working us, and to what degree? Because I watch Triple H and I want to believe. I'm Fox Mulder. I want to believe. But he is Stephanie McMahon's fucking husband, dude.
I think he is as sincere as he can be with his care and love and devotion for driving the WWE into the direction where it needs to be in the next 50 years. I do still think he speaks to Vince. As far as the capacity of how he speaks to him, that's up in the air. Do they still speak business? Quite possibly.
I want to believe in a world where The Undertaker and Vince hang out, but Stephanie and Triple H, he's like the guy we don't talk to anymore. I want to believe in a world where Triple H has excommunicated Vince. Like, still got love for him, but he's sick. He's sick now.
I think it's an arm's distance thing. I think it's you give somebody as much as you know you can trust them with. And you know what I'm saying? That goes without saying. Vince is vital to WWE as a whole. What it was, what it became, and what it will be in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't really say, hey, you know what? I'm okay. I'll talk to you when I talk to you. Because he was the foundation of that for so many years.
Right.
Now they've taken what he's created and made this global empire with it. But
right, he changed the way people thought about things.
Yeah.
Which is like important.
100%.
But also,
man.
I don't know. It's just interesting. Like I really don't want to believe in a world where Triple H is tricking me into loving him, because I want to love him. I want to love him.
Well, do you watch the like the after show? What do they call that?
And Triple H
press?
is the must see to me. Like,
yeah, like you wait. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time.
He is great in those things.
Yeah. And that's
what
makes me feel he's most sincere about it.
And we're both football fans, and the coaches and all sports. In real sports, the coaches and the players have to speak to the media after every game. And
Right.
especially the NFL, because it's like a once a week thing. It's most like wrestling. And these coaches' press conferences after these games are very telling. And you can really and this is quote unquote real sports now. You can look into their eyes and see who's a good coach and who's not. Who's like full of shit and sucks.
Body language, man.
Like
you could get in front of a camera and you could tell the
your
camera.
team and who you wouldn't. Like fucking Tomlin on the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, they just got to look in their eye where like that's a good coach. And everybody else is just like a knob, basically, a bell end, as Lucha Freddy would say. So when I see Triple H speak at those press conferences, that's the coach. I'm happy with the coach of the team.
You have quite possibly the most comparable person, I'd say, if you're gonna compare this to football. Head coach wise, you have Bill Belichick right now leading WWE.
Yo, but even Bill Belichick right now broke up with his longtime wife to
Still
date
winning.
a 24-year-old professional cheerleader. The guy's 76 years old. You know that Bill Belichick is doing. He's getting up to some Vince shit.
No, I don't want. All right, listen. Let's not say Belichick. Then we could use another great coach.
Who's
We
the
could
second?
use
Who's the second great coach that comes to mind in football?
who's the coach right now? We'll take it to basketball. Coach for the Warriors. Play for the Bulls. Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr
Right?
got punched by Michael Jordan. If Steve Kerr got punched by Michael Jordan now, Michael Jordan would be suspended. But instead, Steve Kerr took that punch. Now he's the head coach of the thing. Hey, speaking of real sports, congratulations to you and your brother for joining the No Fucks Given Fantasy Football 10 to 12 team PPR league.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm pumped. My brother right now is in Colorado. He went to go catch some Met games out there. We were actually talking about our rosters coming up. So that's actually something I'm really excited to do this season, is get into fantasy and actually bring home a championship, because this is a home of champions.
Well, and I asked you, I said, listen, you don't have to be good, but you have to care.
Yeah.
I said,
100%.
I'm not going to tell you to start doing mock drafts and research like I'm going to make sure that I'm doing. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but I'm going to ask you to set your lineup every week and care.
I was going to buy a $15 fantasy football magazine from CVS.
Oh my
Most
God.
expensive magazine I've
my
ever seen
God.
in my life. And I was flipping those pages, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to win this shit.
What are some early magazines you remember like buying and like clamoring for as a kid? We were talking about this last night on Drunk GM. Like I would like die for Game Informer. Like every month when Game Informer would come out.
Wow. R.I.P., bro. They just announced this month that Game Informer is no more.
I didn't even know that they were still more. You
Yeah.
know? And then like the wrestling magazines, like now looking at it now, it's like, of course, because like wrestling don't have money, it's like the PWI or whatever the fuck on the newsstand. You know, like, the video game magazines, every page, like, glossy, laminated.
Oh, my God. They were great, bro.
Right, or whatever.
Like,
glossy. Like, good stuff. But, like, the wrestling thing would be all paper. It'd be like a newspaper on the inside, you know?
So thin.
So thin, so shit.
I would always grab PWI, WWF, and if I was being a rebel, I'd grab Raw Magazine. You know what was Raw Magazine.
Yeah, that was like pre-Maxim. That was like the Maxim.
Yeah, and I was like a fucking 7-8-year-old kid bringing them to school, and my mom would have to come into the school to come grab them for me. I'd be in the lunchroom with the, pre-porno magazines there, Monday Night Raw mags.
Monday Night Raw mags, yeah.
Those were my go-tos with the puppies in the front with Deborah.
Hey, also, fuck, I don't have the name of this. What's the thing that we're sponsoring? Do you know? You must know.
Yeah, We Love Wrestling.
No, that's not what it's called.
Yeah, dude. 100% is.
Don't forget to plug the Wrestling Death Wish Cup and our paid sponsorship. Wrestling Death Wish. I don't remember if we announced it on Tuesday, but Dr. Redacted, John Wayne Murdoch.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the third guy who's been announced?
JJ Allen.
And JJ Allen, all friends of the Bullies, announced for this thing. Tune in on Tuesday for more Deathmatch Wrestling news.
Yeah, man.
Sean, I started watching The Bear over again. I want to watch The Bear season 3.
The Bear.
But I feel like I need to watch season 1 and 2 again. So now I'm currently watching The Bear. That's kind of where I'm at. I want to watch this new movie called Civil War with Ron Swanson in it.
Yes, and the girl from Jumanji.
Yeah,
young
and it's
girl.
like, is it Ari Arister? It's one of these guys who does good shit.
I saw a good chunk of the movie. I
Civil
love
War.
movies like that. Yeah, I love movies like that. Yeah, I definitely recommend it.
Some like White House Down, Air Force One type shit.
Oh, dude, I'm all for those movies, man. All for them. Independence Day is one of my favorite movies, so you know
Independence
that
Day
falls
has got
right
to be
down there.
top five Dead or Alive classic.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. So
Like
I definitely,
Independence
definitely
Day
recommend it.
gets thrown right up there with Back to the Future, Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, bro. You have to.
It's right
You
there.
have to.
It's right there.
Yeah, man. I was actually talking to Jibby yesterday about movies, and he was like, "What is the best summer of movies?" Because this summer I'm currently like in the movie theaters like every week with Rose, and I was like, the best summer that I think I enjoyed with movies was 1997.
What was that? Was
Jurassic
that like
Park,
Independence
Men in
Day,
Black.
Mission Impossible,
Yeah,
Men in
dude. Oh
Black?
my, like what? Like that is wild. Like put my bed in the theater. I'm not leaving.
They really,
This is
they
phenomenal.
really recently, and I'm not like a big movie guy anymore, but like it recently, I feel like even for the last 10 years, even it doesn't really feel like the summer blockbusters don't really hit as hard as they did.
Nah, they
But it was
don't.
like, yo, Independence Day, July 4th.
Bro,
you know, like-
wild. You felt like you were there,
Yeah, yo.
right? We will not go quietly without a fight. We're going to live on.
I'm not going to do it now, but I'm going to tell you, Sean, that without reading anything, I can perform that entire scene.
Can you do that at the barbecue, please? Just out of nowhere. Out of nowhere,
okay, I
please.
will do that if you guys are holding sparklers.
We'll get them. Whatever we have to get.
Hold on, before we continue, and I want to keep talking about life for a minute before we get into SummerSlam. We have a
Yeah.
Captain Dave fucking broadcast. Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome. This is where I get possessed by Captain Dave, by the way.
Here we go.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Captain's Corner podcast. I'm Captain Dave, and tonight it's Here Comes the Lame. We have our two hosts, Hollywood ringside man of the hour, Hollywood Sean Nazaro, and our respected leader of the Boulevard Bullies, PJ Patrick Effin James. Unfortunately, we don't see primetime Brian Ginsburg and the
Nope.
godfather of ultraviolet ring announcer Larry motherfucking Legend on the show tonight.
Mm.
Love Independence Day with Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Randy Quaid. So fucking good. Everybody,
You know it,
right
Captain
now,
Dave.
you could put it in the chat. I want you to put it in the chat. Or just say it out loud to yourself. What's the quote? What's your favorite quote? Besides the speech, what's your favorite quote from Independence Day?
Such a great movie. with
I'll
such
go
good
first.
quotes. Go ahead.
Welcome to Earth.
You knew then, but you did nothing. I don't talk to my son David like that.
What about
That's Brian.
I fly, I'm pilot.
I can fly. I'm a pilot.
I fly, I'm pilot.
I can fly. I'm a pilot. We need people here who can fly. Anybody who's a pilot would be greatly appreciated.
I fly, I'm pilot. Anyway,
They did things to him.
we got to make him sick. A virus.
I got a headache. David, what are you doing?
Red light, green light. That's Mission Impossible, but
Oh man, love movies. Love movies. Could talk for
movies,
days.
the best. Have you
Yep.
seen Wolverine Deadpool?
I did. I did opening day for that. It was phenomenal.
Before I ask you about the movie, can I ask you something? I've been seeing a trailer online, or so I thought,
Okay.
of what's his name is Gambit. What's the fucking guy's name?
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum is Gambit. And I thought that this was a trailer that was premiered at San Diego Comic-Con, and I was like, wow, this is terrible. But apparently it's a fake joke trailer that's in Wolverine Deadpool. Am I to
Yeah.
be...
It's inside. So like, the state of Marvel is so weird right now. Like it got so bad that they had to make a storyline where like superheroes were time traveling to like where the people were created. So like there's a scene where Deadpool is standing behind, well, excuse me, in front of a whole bunch of screens, and each screen is a different superhero living out his life. And one of those screens was Gambit, and it just so happened to be what
All
you
right, so
saw.
it was meant to be ridiculous parody.
Yes.
Yo, the action was dope, though. I mean, the
Yeah.
outfit, the action was dope, but it did just look like Channing Tatum's fat face shoved into the thing. But now I
And the
realize
mask.
that it was part of it. It was all part of it.
Yeah. It
So
definitely
how do you
was.
feel about the film? IGN didn't like it. IGN said that it was like the Royal Rumble, that it was a whole bunch of surprise entrances, but no real story or substance or heart.
Um, all right. So now this is what I feel like about all these big companies right now. They're hired by a bunch of, early 20-year-olds who didn't live that era of superheroes, which is the early 2000s Fox, right? Which is what we were blessed to have because there weren't any cool superhero movies, right? So they put out Spider-Man, they put out X-Men, and so on and so forth. Daredevil, Elektra, Blade, you know what I'm saying? And Blade was the first superhero to take Marvel out of debt. Stan Lee and Marvel were in debt, I think, over $11 million before the movie Blade came out. When that movie came out, comics were hot again. Buying the toys was cool again because it wasn't. And to have like a real person portray a character that you see in comic books, not in cartoons, but in comic books, was very big. So brought it back to life. Then you had X-Men who were brought onto the screen, and it did a lot for
Yeah, but
comic books at the
all those
times.
movies sucked. More one worse than the next.
If you watch them now, they're not as good as what's being put out now.
See, I
But
feel like if I
but
watched it now, I would maybe even. Okay,
uh,
Sean, I gotta stop you there because to
go
me,
ahead.
they just realized that all us dudes who love comics are ready to be adults and spend money, and they just, to me, it's a deep state fucking conspiracy that they took all of our heroes and all of our comic book idols, including Deadpool, who was like the anti-establishment dysenteriotism fucking guy, and they
Right.
fucking made him a chicken nugget.
So you think he's the most popular meat on the table?
Yeah, he's just a.
And he's
He's just
attractive?
yeah, they made them all Big Macs, dude. They took shit that we used to get made fun of for, and made it like popular,
Cool.
and it makes me
So what they
sick.
did for me was they put those characters to rest. And it was
Yeah.
like another way of saying, hey, guess what? We're gearing it this way. This is done. They've did a lot for us. We thank them, but this is bye-bye.
Well, and
And this is
also-
where we're going now with this.
And you had Stan Lee's seal of approval, and if you look at it from Stan Lee's point of view, he went through, as the creator, he went through things much harsher and probably more, difficult than any of us fans did.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when somebody approaches him and says, "Hey, you want to get like a bajillion dollars to like consult on this? We're bringing your shit to life." Like, what creator wouldn't agree to that?
Oh, my God. In a heartbeat.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's do it.
Right.
Funny that you actually brought up that movie. I actually have a picture of how Doctor Doom is gonna look in the new movies. The brothers, the Russo brothers, who directed the last Avengers movie, they're gonna be returning to film this new Avengers movie that's gonna be having Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. And I somehow was able to get a picture of it because they sent out a bunch of posters of the final rendering image of Doctor Doom, played by Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. And here we have it. This was sent to a whole bunch of creators who attended I guess the press panel. And it's basically Iron Man with green eyes and a green heart and a cape. So
Interesting.
I'm interested. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. But much like that, WWE is interesting, and a lot's been happening.
Well done, well done. So SummerSlam. We should have gone. We should have just went to Cleveland. Should have booked a few flights, went to
You know
Cleveland.
what's crazy is that we were looking at going, and the tickets were so cheap. You could have sat on the floor for like $60. So cheap, like ridiculously cheap. Did you watch live or did you watch later in the evening?
Well, I didn't realize that it was Saturday. I thought I
Yeah.
just assumed it was going to be Sunday.
Nope.
And
They've been doing the
I
premium
wonder if
live
they're
events on Saturday for a while now.
I wonder if they're preparing for a 2-night SummerSlam. But it's weird because SummerSlam is really just the quarter. That's just the next big event after WrestleMania, really.
Yeah.
So it would be
Next year
weird to
is two
make.
nights.
Yeah, it would be weird to make SummerSlam 2 nights because it's so close. Really, like I guess what's the opposite? Like Royal Rumble? No.
No, not even.
Survivor Series? Maybe the exact
It used to
opposite.
be. I feel like Survivor Series got bumped for its stardom for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is now favored like
Huh.
Big Four. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't pump Survivor Series like that. I feel like they're giving next year's two nights because the city that was supposed to get WrestleMania wound up getting bumped for Vegas. So in turn, they're like, hey, listen, we'll give you guys two nights of SummerSlam in 2 years. Does that work? Here you go. And we'll make it dope.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? But another thing that I've been seeing too is that I was looking at Ticketmaster. WWE is doing a lot of two-night events. A lot of two-night, like back-to-back nights now. And starting very soon, they're going to be hosting events alongside UFC and Power Slap. So like say for example, if you want to go to Memphis and go catch SmackDown on Friday, the night before, you could go catch a UFC event in the same arena. You could get a combo ticket for all three events.
See yourself some power slap.
Yeah, so it's like you can see all three forms of sports entertainment that are under the TKO banner, which is quite impressive if you ask me.
Very interesting. I guess the dystopian future predicted by Idiocracy, where the main sport in the world is professional wrestling,
It's being proven more and more
is
every
just
day.
getting closer and closer to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, and
Sounds like
they opened up the stadium. They sold out Cleveland Browns Stadium, 57,000.
mm-hmm.
Triple H comes out. You love him. You love him. You know, and it's so funny because if on the Indies, if the promoter came out to welcome everybody, it would be the lamest shit ever conceived.
Yeah.
But when
I've seen
you
it
sold
before.
out Cleveland Stadium, you could come out.
You could do
Just
that.
like
You could do
yo,
that.
and you know what? That's just like Brett came out at the beginning of Hammerstein. He needed to. He was like, no, you know what? Nobody can say shit to me. If you
For
come
the
out
big
to like
ones, you have to.
right. Once you hit that home run, you gotta come out, dude.
Yeah. You got to walk your bases. You got to flag the cap. You got to flag
Cleveland,
the
are
cap.
you ready?
We did
Hammerstein
it.
Ballroom, are you ready?
Are you ready?
We
Like
started
what better
from
way?
nothing. Yeah. You got to hit the promo. When you hit that W, you got to get that promoter promo.
Why not?
And
Why
Triple H
not?
threw the jelly roll,
Jelly Slam.
jelly
He
slam
performed
roll.
twice, right? He did the national anthem. Triple H comes out and he was like, Cleveland
Once again.
and again, Jelly Roll. I was like, well, excuse me, Mr. Jelly Roll.
Hey, listen. And you know what?
again.
More impressive than his performance is getting all that fucking gear out of the ring for
Bro,
the first match in that amount of time, dude. That's like some pit crew shit.
I think that is one of the most impressive things that WWE has is their ring crew. And that goes with saying these guys have sometimes less than a minute
Change
to
the
get
apron,
in
change
and
the
out.
change the
It's
canvas.
wild, bro. It's wild. It's insane. So hats off to them for that because that ain't no easy
You think about
job.
setting up the ring
Hell no,
for like
bro.
any indie show. How like it's like an hour of like
Everybody's like, huh?
carry,
But,
yeah.
yo, Charles Robinson is in charge of ring crew, from my understanding, for the SmackDown crew. So at the end of the show, if you stay and you're watching breakdown, you see Little Nate breaking the ring down as fast as possible, directing everybody.
You need to have a foreman. You need to have a foreman in these things. But yeah,
You
they
have
they,
to.
they
Yeah.
rip it so quickly. So Jelly Roll performs. He gets out of the
Hmm.
ring, and in classic pay-per-view fashion, the early matches have the daytime light.
Yeah. Don't you love that though?
I don't know. I mean, like, if you were a wrestler, wouldn't you want your shit to be at night?
Yeah, but listen, one thing I noticed is that there's the pop of the night usually goes to the person who opens the show hot.
And also, like, daytime footage suggests that you're like an
Oh
OG,
my
that you're a
God.
G. Like
Yeah.
if you could just, okay, well, so one pay per view I did daytime, but that's just like dope footage for my reel. That's just
Yeah.
dope footage for my shit. I did some
I love it.
the RKO to Seth Rollins was a daytime. So I guess it's up to you to like make the moment, and the daytime will just like
Yeah.
play its role.
It's sick. It's sick. And then another thing is like you got the sunset match. Who got the sunset match? Think about that. Wrestling under the sunset in probably one of the biggest stadiums in your state. Can't beat that. That's great. So,
So what I loved about Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan opened the show. Hot
yep,
angle.
yep,
As the world turns, Degrassi type shit.
yep.
I mean, my main question is who's going to replace the PS5? But regardless, they're doing this shit where it's like they're so into this backstage walk up, walk through gorilla shit, right?
I love it.
So I like it too, but it's already becoming a trope. It's getting a little bit overused, but in this moment, Rhea welcomes Dom into the shot, and after realizing the way shit went down, the way that they embraced with context was like kind of dope. Cause then thinking about it, it was like their last walk up together.
Yep,
So
yep.
not like campy boyfriend girlfriend kissy kissy. Like they really just converge and were like arm around, like this is our last walk up together. And that's kind of dope. Like thinking about the way it went down.
You see behind it. Yeah, you see
Yeah,
behind
like
it.
it's a very subtle nugget that you can only appreciate, unfortunately, on Instagram after the fact.
Yeah.
Because you see the way it went down or whatever. So you think about it in context, like, wow, that's like 2 years of storyline. Like arriving together,
Yep.
traveling together, talking about ideas, all this shit. And now it's like, okay, and now we're both gonna get over. We're gonna break off. So it's like two
This is it.
colleagues, like,
Yeah, this is it. We did it.
yeah, that was so dope. Like to think about it in that regard. And
Yeah.
I hated nobody more than Dom when he was the babyface with like Ray.
Yeah.
But he has just figured it out, yo. With the Eddie
Blossom,
Guerrero
dude.
hair and mustache.
Kid knew what he doing. He's not stupid. He soaked it all up.
It's
You know-
actually fucking brilliant if you think about the way
It's
that
so
he's
cool to see.
reenacting. He hates his dad, and he's reenacting the fucking Eddie Guerrero like Latino heat type shit. It's actually kind of fucking brilliant. And I saw online, I'm sure you've seen this. Somebody goes, "Yo, Dom is the first dude in history to be a heel and turn heel."
Yeah.
Like he got even more heel. Like he was the heel, he turned heel. So dope, dude.
Can I compare that to something? And as funny as it is, it's SummerSlam 94. Talking steel cage match. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, match is over. Right? Owen's leg gets caught up in the little square cage thing. Bret jumps down very aggressively. Over the barricade comes the anvil. Clobs over Davey Boy. Davey Boy goes over. Now Neidhart is in the ring with Owen and Bret. I think that night Owen turned even more of a heel than what he already was going into the match. You hated him more. He beat the shit out of his brothers. He didn't allow them in the ring to save Bret. He beat the shit out of Bret with his brother-in-law, chained him in there like a dog and beat him down more. And when he left, you hated him 10 times more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when characters go beyond the arc, it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yo, and also drop in the chat, and we're gonna move on. But I want to hear, who has already been a heel and turned more heel? Like, it's been rare. It's been rare, Sean. Like you just said. Also, I want to say, Rhea Ripley bumps like Rob Van Dam, dude.
She knows how to just take the high angle
Yo,
bump,
every
bump off the shoulders.
DDT, every, like you saw at the end, like when she got spiked on the chair, she takes everything as like a headstand RVD bump, dude. Yeah.
She gets so light, like, that's one thing, is like having control of your upper body and like controlling the muscle. Like, she just, when she gets high up there, she's like a feather, and she holds it and she just drops, and she is a star, bro. She is a star.
I just listened to Jim, and Jim says, Jim and Brian both agree, and many pundits agree, that Rhea Ripley is the greatest female wrestler to ever exist.
You think
so? I guess my question to you is like, and I think I agree with that. I think I very much agree with that. So my question to you is, who's the greatest female wrestler to ever exist? I mean, if you said China to me, the in-ring doesn't hold up, but I also couldn't argue with you. It's like almost saying like Andre versus Hulk is the best match ever. You know, like
China broke barriers. So this is kind of a situation where you could say China
Rhea
broke
Ripley's
the wall, so
but
Rhea
Rhea Ripley is bumping like RVD, dude.
Yeah.
And Mercedes Moné, which we'll get to later, is like doing the worst shit of her career and exposing herself, whereas Rhea Ripley is just like on another plane. I mean, you could say maybe Charlotte Flair.
I want to say Charlotte, but like I'm old school, so I'm gonna say like if I'm gonna say who's a good wrestler who understands ring psychology, I'm gonna say like an Aja Kong or like a Bull Nakano.
I would go Bull Nakano. I would go Bull Nakano.
You know what I'm saying?
Medusa as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd even say Alundra. You know what I'm saying? And I was introduced to these wrestlers through Medusa, Alundra Blaze. But once I figured out who Bull Nakano was or who Aja Kong was in '95, and I'm like 6 years old, 5 years old, I'm like, yo, this lady knows how to work.
Real quick before we move on, Mount Rushmore women's wrestling.
Okay. 100% Fabulous Moolah, number one. Everybody's gonna say that she's a piece of shit, but at the end of the day, there would be no women's division ever if it wasn't for her. I'm gonna say Aja Kong. I'm gonna say Bull Nakano, and damn. I want to say Trish because I love a Canadian.
You go Trish. You go China.
Yeah, that's my four right there. I want to say China, but when you have a Rhea Ripley, you look over at China. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well,
you look over China.
I'm gonna go Sable, Marlena, Jacqueline, and Stacy Keibler.
How about Ivory? Ivory was Ivory is the only glamorous lady of wrestling wrestler that went to WWF and became a champion.
Well,
you know that?
I was just being silly, but also, you want to talk about Tuesday night topics. The reason why everyone's a creep is because we all grew up watching the bikini contests.
Raw Magazine.
Raw Magazine. That's the real villain, dude.
My mom bought me those magazines, dude. My mom took me to go meet Marlena and Goldust in a freaking Kmart when I was like 8. And Marlena was dressed up like she was about to go stand on 42nd Street.
All right, so Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn, the next match, Intercontinental title. I would have been my disbelief would have been more suspended if Sami Zayn didn't already have a dub over Braun. The fact
Yeah.
that Sami Zayn had the W over Braun meant to me that Braun was immediately going to win. And I saw someone online say Sami Zayn went 26 minutes with Roman Reigns, and he lost in 7 minutes to Braun Breaker.
Which kind of sucked. Sami Zayn's first time ever really, I think, headlining a SummerSlam or even having a match on SummerSlam as a singles competitor.
Well,
and
and
he walked in with
he's been the Intercontinental Champion before, but he said that this one meant the most, which
Yeah.
really brings it back to like when he was the conspiracy theory Intercontinental Champion in 2017. Vince was in charge, so maybe he hated it. He said that this run, although brief, was his most important and it like was very emotional to him.
I think this one was rallied by the people. I think his 2017 run solidified the fact that he is a solid sports entertainer for WWE, and he can carry the torch of giving the opportunity. I think this one was so much more special to him because, with the state of the things going on in the Middle East and how influential he is with those fans and the fans he comes across and like every other state with that, I think that had a very big part in him carrying that torch as the Intercontinental Champion.
And how cool is it? I mean, if I was the booker, I would say, okay, Braun is this very fast, very raw type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what better person to like take care of him and show him the ropes and work with him and not only one but two, pay-per-view style matches, like big card matches, so Sami like helps him.
So
and I love that idea as well.
I have a question for you about that match. Would you have given Braun the Intercontinental title, or would you have him would you have him rather beat Sami to a pulp and walk out?
DQ him? DQ it?
Just beat him.
Sami retains, but like Braun is like disqualified.
He beat the bricks off of him.
You know what?
Because if you think about it,
I don't hate that idea.
Mm-hmm.
But also, okay, so like when you say that to me, my initial thought is like, wow, that's a really great idea. However, Sami already beat him once. I don't think it's a big enough angle to do a trilogy because the trilogy is now, it's not WrestleMania is not the third match. The third match is like Bad Blood or like some like bullshit thing. So this is a win. And then it shows that Braun is like the alien who evolves at like a high ass rate, where he lost to Sami, but now he's beaten. He's already calculated and beaten Sami, and his two dads, Rick and Scott Steiner, his
Uncle Page.
yeah, those are his two parents, just mom and dad clapping in the crowd. Like that was the
Mama
time
Steiner,
like
Papa Steiner.
So do I agree that it's Braun Breaker's time? Because like much like the Gunther thing, which we'll get to later, yeah, I guess on paper in the moment, looking at the past 3 months, that makes sense. But looking at the next 3 months isn't as cool, like, because what does Braun do? Who's his challenger? And does he just squash them? Like the heel, the you know what I mean? Like he's like a badass type of heel.
Yeah, so it's like, where do you go? Do you like bring him up and have him
Face?
squashed?
So okay, so Sean, to you,
Mm-hmm.
And was this revealed on Raw? I didn't even really watch that closely, but who is the next challenger to Braun Breaker for the IC in your eyes? Then, like, where does he go now after Sami? Is it a rematch?
They didn't mention anything of a rematch. What they did do was they had a backstage segment with Kathy Kelly, your favorite, with the new Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker, and she asked him what it meant to him to have that title. And one thing that stood out to me from what he said was the title. I wasn't born for this title. This title was born for me. With a
What an
statement like
idiot.
that, you can't help but think that this is probably going to be one of the longest Intercontinental title
Oh,
runs
jeez.
in a long time. Because if they're really building this guy up, they're gonna give him the create a superstar run where you go after the singles
The
title,
Goldberg.
and after you lose it, right? You're gonna go after the world title. And that's honestly what's gonna happen. There's no way that they're gonna have this guy come onto Raw with so much momentum and not have him chase the heavyweight title in some fashion at some point soon. Because it's impossible. They have to do it, whether he goes over or not. Because right now the state of the world title is kind of iffy. We'll get to that when we get to it, but it's very shaky right now.
So, yeah, I don't know. Just to put a button and an end on the Braun Breaker things, I don't know. I
I'm
mean,
excited though.
based on everything they've done the last few months, it only makes sense that he wins the title in front of his mom and dad, Rick and Scott Steiner, at SummerSlam.
Well, SummerSlam was a big pay-per-view for them. I think that was their first pay-per-view, so it makes sense. Steiner lineage name, first one for them in '93, and then a big one for him in 2024. So 21 years apart.
Brand in the
Shout out
chat
to him.
saying that Cena and Braun
Mm.
will be Cena's last match. No, because, no, don't do that to me. Because I need Cena to be going, and he can't be going for the world heavyweight. He can't be going for the Gunther. Although Cena versus Gunther would be awesome. But I
I
mean, if
wouldn't
he
mind
wants
seeing
to
him and
chase
Braun.
Flair, he's got to go for the Cody belt, dude. So Cena can't be going after Braun. He can't be going after even Walter, even though I think Walter makes the most sense. Because then I'm like all Rocky 4. I'm Rocky 4 now.
Walter gives me, I want all the trophies. Like he
If
wants some Brock
you
Lesnar shit.
can make me feel like Rocky 4, the aging, jorts wearing, and Cena, he's training in the wilderness. But Gunther, he's training on all the best technology.
Yep. Yep.
Oh wow, I'm
Not-
talking myself into it. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Cena. The last thing I want to see is Cena versus Braun. That's like Roman Reigns territory. That's like shoving it down my throat. I don't want to see Braun beat Cena.
I think we'll have if they don't face each other, we'll see them in the Rumble. Square off.
Next match, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Cringe fest. They
said
are
cringe fest?
trying
Why?
so hard. Dude, the thing before where Logan Paul, graffitied the banner and then like stole the truck and then like drove the truck to the match. He drove the prime truck to the match. And then he like slammed a pole through it. And I can't believe it looked like they didn't even practice this. It took him 2 shots.
Yeah. I think he was scared the glass was gonna get in his eyes.
So what do you think about this? I mean, Logan Paul, great fucking wrestler.
Yeah, I know how much it meant for LA Knight to be on the SummerSlam stage and fight and not only win but fight for the
Finally
United States
get it.
title.
Finally get.
It means a lot, right? And I'm happy for him for that. Like I love it. It's cool to see. I'm a fan of his. But
He's like 5 years younger than me. It's like, oh my God, this guy's 34. He might as well be dead.
Yeah, he's 34.
No, I don't know. He might be older than me. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like in sports, it's like, oh my God, this pitcher's 33 years old. It's a miracle that he's even on the field. I'm 38, dude. So like LA Knight's like, yeah, I've worked my entire life. What's his name? Judas Priest is 41. They're
No
like, oh,
way.
this guy might as well be dead. It's a miracle.
So
Go
Logan
on,
Paul
I'm
came
sorry,
out
go on.
with Machine Gun Kelly. Did you see that? They had him there. That was his walkout with a bunch of Cleveland guys. So I'm assuming this was Logan Paul's little send off for quite some time. I feel like he carried the title for a little bit, and now he's heading out.
Who did you see? He had Undertaker on Impulsive.
No, I didn't. How was that? Did you catch it?
Well, I just watched a few clips, but Logan Paul, like Undertaker complimented Logan Paul on like the exposure that he brought the U.S. title, and Logan Paul was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, you know what? I just love this shit. I brought it everywhere. Like every appearance that anybody asked me, like I just like insisted on bringing it. Like the Trump thing, I insisted on bringing it. Blah blah blah." And Undertaker even said, he goes, "Oh wow, you must be watching photos of L.A. Knight with this title, thinking like, why does he have my title?" And Logan Paul was like, "Yeah, I do feel that way. Like to me, that's my shit, you know. And now this guy's got it. But just like Braun with Sammy, the setup was like a dead end, dude. You needed LA to win, or else you completely destroy LA. Just like if Braun don't win and loses 2 matches to Sammy, he's dead. You
Dude, this
LA.
was big. This was big for LA Knight.
Well, yeah.
You know how many matches
like
that he's gone into?
It's a
that it was for a title and he lost. He went into Crown Jewel and he fought Roman for the title, and it looked like he was gonna win at one point, and he lost. He's always come this close, and I think this win, gives him the chance. All right, kid, here's the baton. Go run. Let's see if you come in first place. Last chance. Can you do it? All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean he's fucking lame, but
Logan showed out though.
It did need to be like a coronation of a life once spent, you know.
Yes.
And much like they are honoring all the people that were angry with Vince, like Jesse Ventura and the Steiner brothers and all this shit, it's like they're actually giving the due to the guys who spent 20 years doing shit outside of WWE, like Damien, like LA.
Mm-hmm.
So that really is like another, feather or whatever, like another
hat tip, nice hat tip.
Yeah, it's like oh wow, okay, that's another thing that like you could use to say like wow, it really is different now. It really is better now. Like they're letting LA Knight have his moment. They're letting fucking whoever have their moment. All right, next match. Oh, and by the way, LA Knight, Acai moonsault.
Bro, that was probably one of the best moonsaults that I've seen since Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 20 onto Benoit Triple H. That was wild.
Oh, it was like an Ultimo Dragon type of
Acai.
Yo, that was insane, dude. Top rope.
I thought he like almost like popped his knee out, because when he landed kind of like awkward, but like, bro, like how, like, sorry, like this, before anything, you're a pro wrestler now, like that you're a pro wrestler.
That's what
man.
Triple H said at the press conference. It was like, yo, he ain't even boxing no more. Like, I just got all the respect and love in the world for him because this is like what he wants to be good at now, and like we got him,
bro. Insane.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah. Can't wait to see him do some more stuff.
Did you see he did like a TikTok or like a YouTube short or whatever?
What, in Puerto Rico?
In his ring, practicing it, and like it was one of these like, it was one of like the hard cuts.
Check me out.
Yo, and it was the exact same. Yo,
he's awesome, killing, bro.
Dude. He is fucking awesome, dude.
And he lives in Puerto Rico. How cool is that?
Probably for the taxes.
Free $3.99. But yeah.
So after that, bathroom break. Bayley versus Nia.
Nia's first time wrestling at SummerSlam. She's been with WWE for quite some time. Released, came back. But here she is as the queen of the ring.
You're clumsy.
And she went up against
Bayley,
fat.
You're lame. And you're clumsy. And you're The Rock's cousin.
Who said that to her?
Bayley she didn't say fat, lame, and clumsy, but she did say clumsy. She's like, you're reckless, you're selfish, you're reckless, and you're clumsy.
Well, listen, I'll tell you this much. She went in there looking like a champion, and she walked out with the strap.
yo, so everybody was talking about this like Bailey powerbomb, and I thought like when I heard about it, because I skipped this
She
match.
walked with her.
Yo, that's what I thought. I thought it was like just like from the corner, but yo, she took her on the shoulders and
Yes.
walked her to like mid ring, dude, and that did not look easy.
No, hell no, bro. But Bailey, if you like pay attention to like their social medias and stuff, like you see that she's been heavy on the deadlifting and she's like super into CrossFit now. So it's like I was like, okay, so she's gonna carry somebody very heavy very soon then. And lo and behold, she walked with Nia to the center of that ring and plopped her down.
Amazing feat
that
of strength.
was
That's the
dope.
highlight of that match by a long margin.
That was dope. And then your new women's Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, came out, which I thought she was gonna cash in, but
Right, it
she
was a
didn't.
fake out. It was a fake out cash in.
It was a fake out cash in. And yeah, she helped Nia get the win, and Nia is the new women's champion, Raw women's champion.
Did you see what Grayson Waller said when he was doing up, down, down or whatever with Xavier Woods and Austin Theory? He goes,
Did they all have black shirts?
no, he goes, oh, it's so crazy. Like wrestling fans all over the world are the same. They're all wearing black shirts. They all smell terrible, and they all want a photo at the airport with Tiffany Stratton.
If you got, she's right there. Go get her.
Right, and that's what he said. He's like, oh, God bless her, because we just walk by. We just walk by. Like, yeah, oh, Tiffany Stratton's right over there. Go ahead. They get to walk by. So I thought it was like fucking hilarious. So where does Bailey go from here?
Good question. I think maybe some time off. I'm not too sure what her contract status is, but this was a heavyweight championship win for her, a women's championship win for her.
Lost for her.
Lost for her, but she won at WrestleMania. So she won in April. She lost in August. That's a short run.
And she won the clip battle. She got the walking power bomb, which is like phenomenal.
She had a short run. She broke off from Damage Control, who's picking up steam again right now. So I'm not sure. She's also one who has some time under her belt when it comes to being on the main roster. She's been doing her thing for quite some time.
All right, hot seat time for you.
What's up?
We are very, very far away. But just give me... Okay, so right now, current Women's World Heavyweight Championship, Liv Morgan. Current Women's... No, wait, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan and Nia Jax, both champions.
Yep.
So what do those two matches look like at WrestleMania? What's the season finale of those two matches?
I say women's champion. I'm gonna say Tiffany Stratton defending, meaning she cashed in already and won. I see her defending against Nia Jax. For the women's world title, I see Rhea Ripley defending against what's her name? Lyra Valkyria from Raw. I see Rhea getting her belt back and going gung-ho and like to the moon with it. And Lyra Valkyria is somebody who's on Raw right now that everybody has to keep their eye on because she is the future. You know that?
No, that was a terrible answer. And you know what? It wasn't really a terrible answer as much as it was a terrible question from me. It's too...
No, that was a good answer. That was a great answer. What are you talking about? You don't even know who's Lyra Valkyria. She's the former NXT Women's Champion. Respect on that girl's name.
All right, so this is the one match that I watched twice. I went back, I rewound to watch CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and then I watched it actually again the next day because my body wanted me to watch SummerSlam on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I got home from work on Saturday night. I watched, like, the last two matches, whatever, you know. But then my body really wanted to watch SummerSlam on Sunday, so I rewatched it. So this is one of the matches I watched twice. Well-deserving. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. An odyssey. A storyline. Tell me about it. Take away, Daddy-O.
Well... It's been quite some time since Punk has been in a WWE ring for a pay-per-view funny story, Pat. The video that we have on Boulevard Bullies YouTube page, which you fans out there can go watch if you want. We have CM Punk's only in-ring performance before this match. So the only time he got into the ring before this was at the Garden to fight Dominic Mysterio. So when we seen him in the ring here, I'm gonna be honest, he didn't look like CM Punk. How did he look like to you? Did he look like he was able to keep up, or was he a little slow for you?
Yo, the thing that stood out to me is that the last thing, like it was like a secondary thought on everybody's mind that this was his first time in a ring in 12 years WWE. You know, like he did Royal Rumble, and then he got hurt, but he's been doing this thing with Drew. It doesn't even feel like he hasn't been around.
Yeah.
So whereas like if things didn't happen the way they did, this match would have been centered around his first time back in a ring in 12 years. But because, which is the easy way out, because that's just like there, right?
Yeah.
But instead, and I really do think this is to CM Punk's creative credit and Triple H's ability to work with talent now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the story of the match was about him and Drew. It wasn't about him being in a WWE ring for the first time in 12 years. Like he touched on that at Royal Rumble, and if he didn't get hurt, I'm sure that would have been the focal point moving forward. But they shifted, and it wasn't about him. Drew was as important to this feel as he was. So, yes, the commentary did say, oh, you know, wow, we haven't seen Go to Sleep in 12. Oh, hold on. Hold on one second.
Oh!
Here comes the lame.
My
Top of the 9 o'clock.
God.
Top of the 9 o'clock. Here comes the lame.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Hello, Larry.
Hi.
Hey, Larry.
Hi.
What's up, bro?
Sorry I'm fashionably late. Sorry.
Hey.
Just answer me this
You're
question.
here.
Has the show been, have you been, you just rushed to be here. It's not like you were watching the show and said, this is so bad, I now have to join.
I wish that was the case. I was going to tune in. So my phone was almost dead. My phone is my everything, y'all. I don't have the amenities that everybody does. So everything that I see is off my phone. So my phone was already like on like 13. So I was like, just let this bitch sit, charge up to 69. It's a motherfucking cancer season in this motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm here. I'm here.
You awoke from your coffin. You know, I saw a meme. You know, it's fantasy football season. I saw a meme, and it was like James Harrison walking around Steelers practice in a graphic-less black tee, just glaring at people, inspiring
graphic-less?
the team. Yeah, inspiring the team to win a championship. Right? Is that the guy's name? James Harrison? You know the guy.
The big guy, right?
The guy's fucking huge. He's just walking around in
a
plain black
He's walking
tee.
around with a mug face like this.
Yeah, he's just mean mugging. He will fucking murder every player on that team. And he was just wearing a plain black tee, walking around Steelers training camp. And I saw a Steelers
I felt like
fan.
he was waiting for somebody to be lacking just to pop him.
Yeah, he was just going to pop him. Yeah, no pads, head to head. And
so Larry, we were talking about
well,
Drew
hold
McIntyre.
on. Hold on.
What?
I got to bring it full circle because Larry now popping in with the plain black tee.
Plain black tee. Plain black tees.
All right, go ahead, Sean. Bring Larry up to
So
speed.
we were talking SummerSlam. We got through everything. Did you watch?
You know, I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some of it. Now, first of all, smarten me up, and I was waiting for y'all to smarten me up to this. Was the final bout of the card Damian Priest versus Gunther?
No.
Negative.
I turned it off after that. I turned the
was
show.
not.
I thought that was it.
Well, where
So did
we're
I.
at right now is something that you were texting me about. And I asked you guys the night of, because I thought it was Sunday. The night of, you and Sean were texting about it, and I asked you to keep it spoiler-free in the group text. But you guys were talking about how masterful the drama of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre was, which is exactly where we're at in our review.
Ooh, nice. I'm glad I'm here.
So, yeah. So, Drew comes out in green Game of Thrones kind of Hulk, kind of Undertaker.
Dragonish.
A little dragony, little
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, little Hulk, little clobbering time Hulk, a little bit of Undertaker because CM Punk's about to come out wearing pink and black. Larry, where are you at with this? Walk us through it. Take over. Get to work.
I just remember at one point I messaged y'all, Drew looks deranged. They did a close-up of his face and his mustache and the scowl
Bring this
that he
bitch
had
out
as he
here.
as he was pacing, waiting for Punk to come out. It looked like your fucking drunk uncle or some shit, or some fucking nigga that's gonna blow the bathroom up and be like, yeah, go in there right now. Master my Punk, you motherfucker, because that's how fucking nasty I am. Bro, it was like, I'm like, yo, Drew's got me into this shit off of just standing there looking.
Bring this bitch out here.
So, yeah, bro, yeah. I was amped off of just Drew's music. And for the first time ever, Pat, because I know you're a mom, music, but for the first time ever, that shit was really getting me. It was really getting me into battle mode too, and really more into it.
Hey, did you know? Fun fact: in Philadelphia, when Drew came out with all the Braveheart swords, that friends of the program, Joey Conway and Man Bun Jesus were both druids holding swords for Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Papa Don's done that too for the Undertaker. He was a druid, I think, at 20. Papa Don was a druid at 20 when Taker came back to fight Kane.
Oh, that's fire.
So I saw.
Okay. They were very slow in that match. They were very deliberate in that match. They gave us all the little gaga at, on the outside,
Well, and everything involves Seth. Break it up, turn your back, get the advantage, break it up.
I almost think that Seth was there so that Punk could kind of catch his breath. This is what I was going to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Punk hasn't been active for a minute.
Told you, Pat.
And when you're
slow
out there, bro, all that air, all them people, the entrance, you're blown. So I think Seth was kind of there to provide the necessary distraction to kind of protect Punk as he gets his fucking legs back under him, bro. And Punk's old now. Not old, but he can work that type of,
stretch.
Let me the bracelet.
What else I found?
Bro, it's brilliant. I love it.
What else I found interesting is that if it was FTR, the finish would have been the exact same finish as Brett, Shawn, Undertaker 97. But because it's three smart dudes, it was just a teasing little thing, just a taste in the middle of the match. I will say, though, that Seth Rollins' pants took me out of it, though. I got to say.
You know what it reminded me of?
I was happy that he toned down the initial referee shirt. I thought he was going to wear the Seinfeld referee shirt, but he did sleeveless with just gems.
I want to be a pirate.
The Seth Rollins outfit really did take me out of it.
It reminded me very much of Taker and Brett SummerSlam Heart and Soul, but it also reminded me.
The shorts. Yo.
It reminded
Seth Rollins'
also
outfit makes Shawn Michaels look like Earl Hebner.
But it also reminded me of a combination of Kane and Undertaker, Unforgiven. I think that's 99, where Austin's the ref and he double counts them out and he becomes champion. It was a taste of both because they went back and forth, Austin, Undertaker, Austin, and Kane. And in this match, they kind of did the same. But you had the flamboyance of Seth that resembled Shawn. So you got a taste of what...
He wishes, dude.
A nice little taste. He was able to soak that in and understand this is how I have to deliver as a referee, but still give the fans.
He was charismatic, and you see when Drew did the shotgun and the metal of the ring.
Yep.
The camera cut to Seth going like
walking away,
and like the arena cam, like the Titantron or whatever, must have cut to that, and there was a pop. There was like an audible fucking stadium pop to like even Seth reacting, going like, "Oh, I'm a bad ref," you know, like he got a big pop from just like the stadium camera cutting to him reacting to them, because when he wasn't counting them out.
Do you think that cut was called by Triple H in the backstage area?
I mean,
cut
100%.
I think maybe if I had to guess, and I don't know shit, I'm just high as fuck. It's like, I think the idea going in is like, we want to showcase at one point, even if it's one shot that we take throughout this thing, you know, we know that Seth is going to at one point like prop up in the corner. We know that he's going to be full of flair and flamboyant personality. So, like, the idea going in is, like, if we could capture one or two cuts, one or two takes of him, then it's a success. And that one where after Drew, like, fucking, when he's not counting them out and he's encouraging them to fuck each other up, and it cuts to him, hard cam, super close, dude, medium shot, like, right here, dude. And he's like, ooh, oh my God,
fucking head.
Fucking head. Yeah, and you know what? Seth Rollins should go back there and kiss their fucking feet for that, dude.
Yo, think of it like this.
He did that night.
Think of it like this. It's 1:30 p.m. They just reported. They're all ringside. It's the main event, guys, right? So on one side of the apron, you got Doot. You got P.S. Michael Hayes standing next to Triple H. On the opposite side of the pole, you got CM Punk and you got Drew McIntyre. You have four of the most just soaked up brains of professional wrestling knowledge. You have CM Punk, who's soaked up the brain of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Drew McIntyre, who has been with the WWE since he was 19 years old. Triple H, who has just been around countless amount of peoples, and somebody like Michael Hayes, like piece together something that's just magic, and that's what they did there.
You know how all the AW Punk haters will focus on him, like trying like the he's gonna go do the gunshots clothesline, but he fucks up. So like I would like to think that even the agent there was, or even Punk probably learned, like, you know what, I'm gonna wrestle like a 50-year-old man. I'm gonna wrestle, let's crawl for the bracelet.
Than me.
Yo, did you see? I saw it was an upvoted tweet that said CM Punk crawling on the ground for a bracelet on top of the Wingstop logo is the definition of PG Punk. Fuck this guy. Larry, what's your response to that? Do you feel any type of way? Wingstop, by the way, Rick Ross, I think, and Shaquille O'Neal both involved. Investors.
I'm sure. I'm
gonna look.
Everybody wants to be involved.
But did you think that moment was dope, or did you think it was lame with the bracelet?
Right, I thought that shit was legendary.
The bracelet.
The bracelet.
Dude, bro, listen to me. I don't really like to admit when I agree with Danny DeMonto.
What?
But, Danny had this attitude that it's not really about the fight, the show, the payoff. It's about moments. It's about these moments that, like, forever live, that kind of tell a story without you even having to know anything about what the fuck is going on, just by seeing the moment.
Right, like a one-off. Like, it's an episode of the show.
Like, to me, that is a dying art form.
Yep.
And
By the
our
way, Wingstop
industry,
stock
in our industry
way up.
in regards to like props, like items. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's more about like flip, 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 stop in the middle, put our hands up, and look at each other. That's our moment, right? And that's what Cornette shits on. It's like, that's acrobats. That's like, I'm an athlete and I can do a lot of shit. But what about the fucking quest for the crown or the bracelet or the fucking
The jacket.
The jacket, brother. We joke, but yeah, that motherfucker went under the quest throughout
Yo, I'm
for
gonna
a
tell you
fucking
this
leather
though.
jacket.
I'm gonna tell you this. I thought that
I'm
bracelet.
invested in that. I'm invested in that story, even though I don't like him. I'm like, yo, did you buy the jacket, bro? Like,
Yeah, what's up with the jacket? Hey,
I'm like,
you know, I thought that this bracelet was created specifically for this angle, but apparently it's a bracelet that a fan gave to CM Punk at one of his like back to public eye meet and greets.
Right.
So I think that this fan is owed money, dude. I think that like $5,000, $1,000. You know, how about this? $2,500 to the charity of their choosing. $2,500 in the pocket. Thank you, fan, for giving me this bracelet at this Comic-Con event that has now
thought it
been
was
the
his
how do you know
wife.
that didn't happen? How do you
I
know
thought that was
didn't
his
happen, Matt?
wife's thing.
No, I am telling you right now that I have researched deeply on Twitter that a fan has been tweeting, wow, I can't believe that the bracelet I gave him was the thing. Now, even if it's a replica, even if he lost it, it's a replica, the concept was started by a fan. I think this fan is owed creative fucking, juices, money. Reparations.
Well, listen, I think what they should do is I think at some point they should put the bracelet on shop, and I think the person should receive some sort of royalties for their creation of that bracelet.
How about just some free tickets? How about some just thanks for
Perfect
giving me the
How do
opportunity.
you
bracelet.
know that shit is not all done? You know,
So yeah, the
that
match
nigga
was
might be
dope.
with Drew right now. Nigga might be with Drew right now, jerking off on the bracelet to the music.
That's what they would do, dude. By the way, Larry, before me and Sean went on the air, I've already decided that there's going to be a fake video of me fucking a machine accidentally
Microwave.
leaked while I'm watching
come on. What is
Stream
this?
XPW.
This is Here Comes the Lame.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry. Hey,
Come
the next
on.
match.
Let's get back to the fucking
next
graph.
match on the card after CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, which was the true main event.
Indeed, it was. I agree. Indeed.
After that, we had,
Alvarez and Meltzer shit on it.
did he?
Really?
Yeah, they said it. They said it disappointed. It didn't deliver. Or like it was like,
Really?
Like-
But Larry, did it deliver to you?
absolutely,
Sean?
bro.
100%.
It is long term. This ain't over. This ain't
ain't over.
over.
It ain't over till it's
We're
over.
not
And
done.
you don't get these matches like you used to, and I think that's what makes these premium live events special, is because the dedication that goes into the action from bell to bell is what drove us, the three of us here, to continue speaking about SummerSlam right now, if you think about it. So hell yeah, that shit was fire, and I can't wait to see it again.
And you think, look, talk about long term. You think Cody and The Rock are over? You think that's done?
Hell
Oh
no.
no.
Well, it does
Oh,
look
no.
like it does look like, because Drew won and took back the bracelet, it looks like Drew's and CM Punk's next immediate thing is each other still. It looks like that's going to keep carrying on. That might be a Raven Tommy Dreamer type of situation.
Seth.
So Larry, what's the season finale then? Like, you got Drew, you got Rollins, you got Seth. I'm sorry. You got Drew, you got Rollins, you got CM Punk. What's the season finale?
I think the season finale is somehow or other Punk's thwarted again. And then finally we get, remember when Punk first came back at that Survivor Series, they were showing all that fan cam footage of Seth being like, we don't want you here. Get the fuck out. Remember they kept showing footage of Drew and Seth. Drew was like, oh, this fucking guy.
Yep.
Like, because none of those guys knew he was coming out. You heard none of them knew Punk was coming out. And then he came out. And all those reactions are supposed to be the real reactions of them seeing CM Punk come out to be like, I'm the guy.
All right,
Well,
so Punk
Survivor
vanquishes
Series.
Drew.
I'm still salivating as a fan. I'm still salivating at the one-on confrontation of Seth and Punk ever since fucking that.
We don't want him here. We don't want him here.
We don't fucking want you here. Bro, it was raw. It was raw.
And they touched on that during the match too, where Seth took it one step beyond the actual in-ring action. He said, not everything is about you. He started saying like existential shit to CM Punk.
Because Punk's a narcissist, just like every great leader. He's a narcissist.
Right.
You know? You know?
Okay, so I'm thinking that Punk, between now and WrestleMania, vanquishes Drew, and the main event, like his season finale is Seth Rollins. And how about this? Handshake at the end. He wins Seth Rollins' respect. It's a Ring of Honor match.
Wow. Code of honor.
Right? Yo. Larry, I said last night during Drunk GM, I
like that, Pat.
I said that when we do Tuesday.
What a way to get under Tony's skin.
It's an honor match, and they remove their wrist tape and shake hands at the end. And that's the season finale.
Indeed.
I said last night on Drunk GM that when I'm flaming on Tuesdays or Thursdays, the main thing I look at is Larry's facial reactions. And if Larry is engaged and thinking, if he's reacting like I'm spitting fire, then I'm going to keep my foot on the gas.
Well, that got the fucking gears turning.
Right.
Like, what better way to get under Tony's skin since ROH is like, besides Mark Briscoe, is there any shining light in ROH? You know, like,
yo, and just like Cody, like there were a few things I think in Cody's run since he came back. I think there are a few things he's done that he tried to do in AEW that didn't land, so he like repraised them in WWE and they've landed. So I could see a CM Punk straight edge shorts WrestleMania or pay-per-view entrance, like whereas it didn't really land. It's like a Tyler Black versus CM Punk
with his Ring of Honor music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he commissions the AFI. You know what I mean? Like whereas like he tried that there and didn't really land so hard. Like and now all of a sudden you got a guy who's gonna let you try these ideas on like a grand world stage, and they're hitting. Anyway, what about Damian Priest versus
Imagine if Cody did that. Imagine if Cody did that same thing, but he came out as Stardust.
Yo,
wow.
Dude, I long for that day, Larry. Yo, and you know what, Larry? When he came out, when Cody came out originally as a surprise to fight Seth at that first WrestleMania, when he did the cartwheel and the Stardust fucking... That was the dopest shit, dude. That hit me, dude. That hit me.
Right. Yeah, that was a fun Mania, bro.
Yo, he did that, then he did the Dusty shit. Yo, this guy, he's the Antichrist, dude. He is the child of Triple H, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair.
Linda, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, Will Smith is about to be in a room interviewing Cody Rhodes about iRobot shit, dude.
and Whistle Whiskey.
All right, let's get
And,
to Damien, New York City, Puerto Rican versus fucking Gunther.
Yep.
Both formerly fat guys.
Pat, I am so
Oof,
glad that
holy
you led
fuck.
into it that way, because if you don't think that this match was such a political affair, do you understand what I'm saying right now?
Well, did you
This
see, they
match
didn't
was
have-
such a political affair, bro.
They didn't have, like, they were 2 weeks out and they had no real ideas, so they had Gunther just calling Damian Priest poor. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you come from
they
the
had nowhere else
streets.
to go. They had
Yeah,
nowhere else to
street
go,
dog.
so like a week away, he just starts calling him poor. It's like
They
that
went
was
they went
so
straight
lame.
Maury. They went full Jerry Springer.
What else? What else would Gunther fucking lean on?
Well, I'm just saying, like they had like a gentleman's championship. They could have just been two athletes fighting, but they had like no juice behind it. So then,
Not with an election looming, Pat.
well, I mean, you talk about who's really leaning into the election. That's Maxwell Jacob, but you know, whatever.
Another one.
It's always you ever know, Larry, have you noticed how like they go the strong European route sometimes for like SummerSlam, or not even European, just like very war based. You know what I'm saying? Like Colonel Mustafa, you know what I'm saying? Sergeant Slaughter, Muhammad Hassan. You know what I'm saying? Like they always kind of go that route with it. It's very weird. Like Ludwig Borger, Lex Luger. That's one that always stood out to me.
Why is
Gunther-
it because summer was invented by America and it's kind of like the unofficial?
I don't know. It's very weird. It becomes, like you said, like a battle of sides, and that's really what it boiled down to.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because if you think about summer, you think about heat. And like, what is automatic heat in the eyes of most Americans? Brown versus white.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
fucking some way of like
USA.
having this conflict of like, you're not down with the brown, you're not down with us. Well, white is right, and white will lead this country to the promised land. And it's like, nah, nigga, we not for Demolition Man. We not for that. We underneath the ground, fucking
Exactly.
for real, and eat rat burgers. You know, yeah, bro. Yeah,
I can't believe
bro,
you guys
that's
just
what
said
it
rat
is.
burgers at the same exact
Rat
time.
burgers.
That's heat. That's heat, bro. That's heat.
What's this?
That's heat.
It's a
You
hamburguesa de rata. Rat burger. Oh, real good.
Fuck yeah, Sly was eating the shit out that motherfucker,
Yep.
bro.
I just want you guys both to know that I'm so white, I've never been able to recognize this pattern. I've just been living in bliss.
I think that's the idea. That's the
You
idea.
know-
is
you
that
know,
you never really
it's more
know
The most
Comedy.
racist thing I ever did was hate Bret Hart for being from Canada.
It's more common
That's
than
another
not,
one
Pat.
that's another one that was in the summer. That's another summer heat fucking
Yeah.
shit. Canadian
Yeah.
Stampede.
So you're
and
saying that when the heat
SummerSlam, like,
turns up and we're in the summer months, it always gets racial tension about to explode. It always gets a little Rodney King-ish.
Mm-hmm. They use
Yeah.
both
Summer of
sides.
Sam.
I mean,
Rock and Brock. SummerSlam 02.
we want to see a good brown on white fight. We want to see that shit. Two big
Triple H.
motherfuckers.
Triple H, Booker T, SummerSlam 07. The King of Kings versus the King of the Ring. Remember that?
I think Booker T versus Triple H might have been the biggest racial tragedy to
They
happen.
violated Booker T. Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
lost
and
his
Booker
pink
T,
crown
and he
after that.
lost. He didn't win.
Yeah.
How about SummerSlam 01 opener, Ray's debut in WWE against Kurt Angle?
Kurt
against
Angle.
All-American Kurt Angle, bro.
Yep. You know what's funny, Larry, is that's the same pay-per-view as Rock versus Brock. Same pay-per-view.
Bookends.
Yep.
Bookends.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels. That's a phenomenal SummerSlam, bro.
These racist fucks. Hey, what did you think about Gunther versus Damien? I feel like Damien represented himself well. He was using 41-year-old mixed martial arts side kicks, you know.
41-year-old mixed martial arts.
He was using the power of his WWE 24 documentary to, like, make him stand toe-to-toe with Gunther, but really, you know.
What do you think, Larry?
I liked it. I thought it was well done. I liked the finish. And which is a fuck finish, what we call in the industry a fuck finish. I like that. And I think that Damian
No, go ahead.
I think that Damian Priest has one of the best move sets of a big man in the game. Like, I think that his moves for being the size
Agile
are like, he's good. He's good.
Yeah,
I'm down for the Archer event for me.
I think I'm just at the age where I just root for any old guy. Like I the only thing connecting me to Damian Priest is that he's older than me. I will always now root for somebody older than me.
All rise. I enjoyed it. It's cool to see a Puerto Rican with the world title around his waist and not have to look in a magazine from back in the day.
Yeah, but they fucked him, dude. They fucked him because
I'm not going to say that they fucked him. They allowed him.
The more interesting thing, thank fucking God he can transition into this Finn Balor thing, because Gunther with the title ain't interesting, dude.
Think about it, Pat. They gave him the opportunity to evolve with the world title, a part of a group.
Well, who was the challenger who we had? Who did Damian Priest fight before Gunther? Seth Rollins? Or no, Drew McIntyre, right?
No, it was Rollins. He took the strap.
Well, whoever. Both of his last two challengers have been calling him a transitional champion.
Yeah.
And he's been going on every podcast, every fucking interview saying, like, that's not what's going to happen. And that's exactly what happened.
He dropped
they fucked him.
It pains me to say
it just happened. It just happened.
I think of it like
but
this.
Like, he won the title, and he promised all his fans that if you were in the business for 20 years and never made anything of yourself, that dreams come true, and that I'm not a transitional champion, and like that's not what's going to happen. And then immediately, that's exactly what happened. They cut all of his legs off.
I don't know if you can call him a transitional champion. I don't know if you can call him a transitional champion until we look at the entire canon of where that championship goes. This just happened. We don't know if he's going to win it back at the next show.
All right, but who would you rather be the champion, Damian Priest or Gunther? Isn't Gunther now in the territory of like boring champion? Like, what is Gunther going to do with it? Who cares? I'd rather have Damian Priest the champ.
Well, that's the old adage amongst bookers. What's better?
Chase.
TV?
What's best for business right now?
The heel on top, and everyone's clawing for him, or the baby face, trying to get his fucking comeuppance.
Okay,
back.
fair,
What's better TV?
But they shot Damian off towards Finn. Damian ain't even in that picture anymore. Damian's now shot off towards Finn.
Pat, we'll see. Let us fucking get to the next show.
Don't yell at me. Final thoughts on Damian Priest Gunther. Sean, first.
One particular part in the match that threw me off was Damian Priest ripping the chest of Gunther with his overhand chops.
Planned or not planned? Planned or not planned?
Not planned. He shot on it and went too hard, and it made Gunther's chops look like shit. I will say that. But I'm excited to see what Gunther does.
Final thoughts on Gunther, Damian Priest.
Sean, now that you bring that up, I wonder if someone in the back gave Damian Priest the Iggy to fucking
lay it in.
Win this match. Do you know what I mean?
He's 41. He probably knew without anybody telling him that he's like, yo, I'm going to come out here, make sure that that everybody knows. That's the way that I would approach it.
What I'm trying to say is like, show him that that he's the young boy. Show him that he's the young boy.
Right, this guy's 29. This guy's the chop. Like, I'll chop this guy. Like, I know how to throw a chop.
Yep. We'll see. I'm excited to listen. The guy's talented. He's progressed a lot from when he jumped onto NXT. He was in WWE at a time where COVID hit, and he had to really develop himself as a character and as a professional wrestler in front of nobody. And that's a feat that not a lot of people could do on TV like that. He made it to the big time by winning the world title. He lost it. So now let's see what this chase does to him, because we saw, and I'm not making no comparisons, but The Undertaker is very big on Damian Priest. Undertaker's first title reign was not a long one.
It's just because they're
It's
both
not
old,
one that
dude.
people remember, but what they do remember is, like Larry said, is the chase. Remember the chase.
All the love, all the
I
respect.
mean, Vince was the one that was like, when he saw Damian Priest, he was like, "You remind me of a young, Mark." He's like, you remind me of a young
of
Mark.
course Vince said that because he was trying to catch a blowjob, dude.
Pat,
No,
What?
man.
this is Here Comes the Lane.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. What am I saying?
Got your days mixed up, Papa.
I got my days mixed up, Papa. Hey, Damian
Yeah,
Priest
so
is
I
cool.
thought that was it. I thought that was the end of the show. I turned it off and went to bed.
You're like, all right, yeah, great.
Well, that was it.
Wow, good.
I'm like, oh wow, what a way to close the show.
All right. Good night. No, but you had Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
The Vince McMahon title.
So I didn't see it. I
Vince
didn't
McMahon
see any
title.
of that. I didn't see none of that.
Well, basically, to me, the entire match was centered around: is Roman gonna come back or not?
Darn it.
You wish.
Darn it.
I
Darn
wish,
it.
dude.
Darn it.
I wish. And not only did they didn't even let him come back to his original Succession theme. They gave him like a face version of the theme.
I hate it.
Yeah,
hate
but
it.
Larry, you're right. He should have come back to did it.
Def Rebel has not done too good with their remix theme songs.
No,
I'm not a fan.
They remixed the Roman
Oh,
Succession theme, and it was not
space
good.
version of the.
so whack.
It
So
was
whack.
whack.
Yeah, so whack, dude. So whack.
I mean, I will say this before even Roman Reigns coming out, Solo could like bump around, dude.
Bro,
Solo,
they need to put some
potato
respect
sacks.
on his name, bro.
He's
They
kinda
need to put some respect on his name.
He's kind of
because
he's a
since
little
he
bit like,
arrived, bro.
He's like Rikishi in a way where like he could just fall flat on his like face.
That's
and he's-
Rikishi's son.
That's his son, bro.
No, I know,
That's
but like
Rikishi's son.
those like,
No,
like
like,
some of those like
literally.
flat face bumps and like
he
like
bumps
the,
like
and the way
his dad
he takes
did.
Crossroads is dope. Yo, if I was about to take Crossroads, I would be terrified to spin, because if you spin in the wrong direction, you're dead. Like if you
Why would you spin in the wrong direction, bro?
if you're like this at Crossroads and Cody's like, okay, hey, I'm gonna tap you twice and I'm gonna spin left. If you spin right, you're dead. Your head is ripped completely off your body.
Yeah, but Pat, why would you do that though? You
I'm just
die.
saying, you gotta remember
Are you
these
saying
things.
like
You gotta remember.
to like make history?
Adrenaline.
What if the adrenaline's in your soul and you're just there and you've gone 25 minutes in a match and you're fucking gassed and you're just there because you're Rikishi's son. You're like, all right, Cody's about to spin me. I'm about to do this shit. All right, left. But it was really right. Guess what? Your head is ripped off your body, dude. You look like something from 28 Days Later.
Great
Dude,
movie.
I'm pretty sure the guy just lets himself go and Cody guides that move.
Yeah, you just got to go with the momentum.
No way, dude. You
just
spin
gotta do it.
with.
You
spin
go
with.
Cody. Cody
How
has you in
dare
it, and
you
where
guys.
he goes, you follow Daddy. You
No,
follow.
you spin
follow where
with.
Cody
You
goes,
gotta
Daddy.
spin with. Cause yo, even if you go limp and try to let him guide you, that's neck break city, dude.
You
You're not
literally just have
limp.
to go
You're not
right.
limp, bro. You're not limp.
You gotta be ready to
That
spin in
where
the direction
in
that he's
control of
going.
Your body.
You
Come
gotta
on,
flip
Pat,
your
you're
body in the
trained.
direction he's
You
going.
know what I'm talking about? He's in control of your body. If I'm gonna snap suplex you, you don't gotta fucking post and fucking go up for a vertical suplex. I got you. I'm gonna whip that body.
Nah, dude. Yo, you gotta spin with Cody or else you die. That's my
Can I
official
say something
opinion.
before you get more into the match?
Maybe niggas, maybe nobody's ever been in a state where they're fucking gassed and don't know, would do some stupid shit
get
like
back
that,
here.
bro.
He catches you back here. Then you gotta go. What? You gotta do it. You gotta go. What? You gotta
He has to
dip
swing
with
his
him.
legs like this,
Dive with him. What?
like the Rey Mysterio means. He was like, and the dude, he swung his legs around like this.
I guess. Okay. I guess at King of the Ring '97, Mankind versus Jerry the King Lawler. At one point, Lawler goes for a swinging neck breaker. When he goes to whip Mick in the swinging neck breaker, Mick goes the other way, and
I
it looks
remember that.
really awkward. And King just like drops to his knees and like mugs for the camera, like I got his ass. I guess that could happen, but I feel like in the Crossroads, though, he's the one that is going go.
No,
In
you
the
gotta practice
sense of,
that
like,
shit. You gotta
wrestling-
make sure you're going
wrestling,
left.
Like how we do moves, he's the one that's going go, right? And all you got to do is go. Whip.
No, it's not just a go. You gotta go left or right. And yeah,
No, Pat.
maybe in the moment he'll remind you.
No.
He'll go. Okay, we're going this way. Huh. Like he'll maybe remind you. He'll give you cues. But
No.
if you go the opposite direction, that
No,
moment you
bro.
are dead. Your head
Yo.
is facing backwards.
I mean, I guess the same logic can be applied to the Styles Clash. Everybody
Mhm.
knows that you don't
Ooh,
tuck your
Yoshitatsu.
chin
Yeah, you
for
put
the
your
Styles
you don't
Clash.
tuck. You don't
tuck your
tuck.
chin for the
Right.
Styles Clash, right? You don't tuck
You
your
go up,
chin
you go
for
up,
the
you go
Styles
up.
Clash. You don't tuck your chin for the Styles Clash, or you'll die, right?
So,
Like, but
Yoshitatsu almost killed himself like that, and the most recent
and so
one
did
was
Roderick
James
Strong.
James
So did
Ellsworth,
Roddy.
and yeah,
So-
apparently the story
James
is
Ellsworth.
that AJ saved his life and like adjusted.
Yeah, yep, like it with a freaking second.
Yo,
But,
okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Roddy,
I would just say-
when Roddy Strong, when AJ got out of WWE or TNA, when he got out of TNA and he came to Ring of Honor first, Roddy fought him in Nashville and took the Styles Clash that way to make AJ Styles appear deadly on the TV. When the TV went on Sinclair and they showed the clip of AJ versus Roddy in Nashville, when he gave him the Styles Clash, he intentionally tucked his chin because he knew his neck was strong enough and that it would make AJ Styles look deadly on TV. So I guess someone could, in theory,
Thank you.
go, I'm going the other way, when fucking Cody did the Crossroads, but why?
Listen,
Oh.
I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'm just saying the way that I
Thank you.
interpret it. Was that Rose?
That was Rose.
What is Rose up
Hey,
to?
Rose.
Babe, the guy say hello. Rose brought me a package that I received in the mail.
Open it.
Hello.
Open it.
Hello.
We're gonna open the package here. He says hello, guys.
This
Unboxing.
shit is fucked.
Unboxing here. Pat, we were
I
talking
can't see
about
anything.
we were talking about movies earlier, Larry. We were also talking about Marvel and whatnot. And I've always been a big Marvel guy, and I always like to get games that I haven't played in a while. And one of those games just so happened to be X-Men Mutant Academy.
This guy
Pat.
is buying all the worst games in the world.
Dude, you're bugging, bro. This is one of the best arcade fighting games. Best ones. So I got this. Gonna put
That's
it
not
this-
the one. That's not the one where Colossus goes.
I don't think Colossus is a playable
It might
character in
be.
this one.
It might in fact be.
So we got X-Men.
Dude, when you
Mutant
summon
Academy.
Colossus, he comes out. He goes.
I think that's part 2. But yeah, thank you, babe. You're the
All right,
best.
so
Got that in the mail.
Roman Reigns
I wish
comes
I had
back.
a baby.
It's classic bloodline rules. Jacob Fatu splashes Cody Rhodes through the table and then hurts his knee. So I guess before we get to the finish and the Roman Reigns return, I want to focus on the Jacob Fatu splash and knee hurt. Was his knee really hurt?
No.
I mean, did you see the photo of him in the bodega with the walking boot?
With the boot, yeah. You don't want to know what's funny? Those 2 guys that he were with are the 2 brothers that do the wrestling moves in the big ball pits and the pools. Those are those guys.
Oh, the Walmart guys?
The Walmart guys, yeah.
Larry, did Jacob Fatu actually hurt his leg on that splash?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
He fell asleep.
Right, he
thought
shut the
main
shit
was
off.
Gunther.
No, I thought it was over, bro. I thought that was the main event of the show.
All right, so Sean,
it off.
Yes.
did he hurt
here.
himself or not?
I
First
don't
question.
think he did. It looked like he did. But to be honest, I don't think he's hurt. I don't think he's hurt.
It was all
I
part of
think
the
that-
plan.
I think it was a way to keep him out of the ring with Roman Reigns and to have that specific time be very special.
But
Because the
does
time where they what's that?
Isn't that counterproductive though? Like
No, it's not, because
he's
think of
supposed to be
how-
this like superhuman crazy guy. So if Roman Reigns wasn't involved, he would have hurt his knee, and just like Rhea Ripley popping her shoulder back into place, he would have punched his knee. The way they've been booking him, he would have like punched his knee back to life and gotten in to like save the tribal chief. So
Yeah, but you know what?
Like whether it was real or not, I think it makes him look a little bit weak.
It does, but you have to think long-term storytelling, and that's what this is. The bloodline storyline has been going for past 2 years now, and you don't want to give that away for a cheap pop, because that's really what it is. You
Right,
want
because fans
that-
will be wondering what happens when
Yeah,
Jacob
you
Fatu
want that
meets-
face off. You want that face off. This is since Jacob has jumped on the scene, he has been a force to reckon with.
Yeah, but the fact that he hurt his leg on a splash means that Roman Reigns is going to destroy him, in my mind.
No, I think that was just the way to
Go
keep
get
them
him,
off
Moose.
camera.
Ah,
We still need you out there.
Ah.
We still need you to do your job, Jacob. But at the same time, Roman's gonna go out there as well. Right
think
now,
we
we cannot afford to put you both on camera at the same time, because eventually, when we do have you both in the ring squaring off, it'll mean so much more. The numbers will be insane on YouTube for that hit, and it'll lead into a match. You have to think numbers like that.
Yeah, okay,
You have to.
fine. But, like, at the end of the day, he hurt his leg on a splash to the table, which Shane McMahon, Logan Paul, Shawn Michaels at 45 years old, all these guys, at the end of the day, I
To be fair,
understand the
Pat.
logic. I understand the logic. Like, okay, we need to figure out a reason for him to not interact with Roman here, right?
Right.
But if you really look at it, buzzword, brass tacks, whether he hurts his knee and cannot interact, or whether he, like, no matter what, like, him hurting his knee makes him mortal.
Yeah.
It makes him even more mortal than if he would have just taken a Superman punch from Roman.
I agree.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree, but
He could've-
I
he
feel like
could've
they
just
put
done that
themselves in a pickle with
splash.
it.
He could have done that splash, ran in, tried to save, taken a Superman punch, rolled out, and the fact that his knee was hurt and he couldn't recover, to me, makes him worse than just being momentarily dazed from a Superman punch.
So when it happened,
Come on. No, wait.
I
before you
automatically went
reply,
to the knee.
Tell me I'm
No, but
right.
think about
Tell
it.
me I'm
Think
right,
about it.
dude.
when it initially happened, I said he messed his knee up.
Right.
Torn
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So
that
then the
is
picture,
that's the
the
one
boot.
better thing. That's the one great thing about it, is that we all believed he actually did.
Point exactly. So then brings me to what you just mentioned, him in the bodega with the two guys and the boot.
The boot.
If
The
you-
boot.
it throws it off. So it's
No,
like
but dude,
when
but
you go
dude.
back and watch the spot, his knee and his shin is what makes contact with the edge of the table,
But at the
not
end
his
of
foot.
at the end of the day, he cannot ever be, the way they've been booking him. At the end of the day, he cannot be injured by anything.
Jacob,
Like I would have preferred him
getting the
doing
Umaga
that
booking.
splash and then running out into the crowd like a crazy man. Like there were so many things that could have happened, but the fact that he's like, "Oh, my knee! Oh, go get him, Moose! Oh," like it made him look weaker than the way that they've been presenting him. They've been presenting him as some fucking Terminator T-1000 type of shit.
before we
So
let
the fact
Larry
that he
take over,
can't walk, the reason why he can't interfere is that he can't walk. Like, yo, you could have had him got distracted by like a fucking bird. And he's just
So
such a crazy guy that he chases the bird because he's just like a bull. He's going after Red. You know what I mean? The fact that he
I get it.
hurt his knee, like, to me, diminishes him. And obviously, I don't think it's going to make a difference. But, you know, if we're getting into it, it's like,
So here's where I stand with it, and I'll just say this before Larry gives his expertise
please, Larry,
on it
waiting on
and
Larry.
schools us.
By the way,
So,
White Claw Surge, I wasn't sure you're going to make it, so I bought 8 of these.
Surge it up, baby. So what I think it is, you know, we don't usually have early SummerSlams. August 2nd, we don't do early SummerSlams like that. Later on this month, in the next 2 weeks, they have Bash at Berlin. So, with that being said, Roman being back and back on the roster pages as a full-time babyface, this Friday night, we may get that encounter that we're speaking of with Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns, and the match may in fact go down
on
at
Friday?
the Bash in Berlin. So, with that being said, Larry, what do you think?
Agree with me, Larry.
I think
What do you think about him having his knee hurt?
I think the Bloodline is like they're like an army. They're like an army. And like they've got to have like kamikazes that will just like sacrifice their whole body just to like fucking be like, oh, I'm for this army. And like, as powerful as Jacob Fatu is, I think that what I take away from it is that this guy's so crazy that he'll hurt himself. He'll hurt himself just to hurt somebody who's going against the Bloodline. And I don't think it makes him weaker. I just think it makes him like more of like a wild Samoan.
He's like crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah, a wild Samoan, which is what they're like calling legacy to the wild Samoans that are like, you know, have to figure it out because they done busted their leg because they fucking went ham.
Right. Okay.
Spot, you know, like
he's getting the Umaga booking.
He's at the big time. He lost the weight, and bro, speaking from some hood shit, if he did hurt himself, bro, that's rehab and money and pills. I don't mean to say it, but bro, like I'm in here now.
You know, Larry, I love that. I love that. To say
I'm sorry,
the kamikaze angle, like yo, he'll just fuck his whole shit up.
Just the fucking for
the tribal chief.
I'm Umanga. I'm Umanga.
Yeah. Do you guys remember at the end of Umaga's career where they had him talking like a normal person and he wasn't doing the beast gimmick? This is the route that they wanted to go with Umaga before they let him go in 2007. The exact same route. Exact same route. When Umaga was released, JR thought that it was going to light a fire under his ass to get back to where he wanted to be. And that was WWE's intentions with him, was to scare him with releasing him in the hopes that he'd wake up. But it didn't happen. They tried it with Yoko. It ain't happened either. And look where that got him. Now they have this bloodline, this strong bloodline. And in WWE, they recycle storylines. So this quite possibly could be the intentions that they had with Umaga. They're portraying it now with Jacob.
Can I just say, you know, in the fact that Vince has always wanted to like legitimize this shit as like the second generation, third generation, fourth generation superstar, you got to wonder if the whole time that Fatu of the Head Shrinkers and the Sultan and Rikishi, when he was keeping him around, if like every year when Rikishi was producing the Usos and Solo and Zilla and all these fucking pumping out all these kids, if Vince was like, yeah, keep him around. Yeah,
yes.
he's fucking, he's breeding.
He wants to keep the bloodline
for me.
Breaking news.
Dude, it's deep. It's deep shit, bro.
It is. You know, Larry. You know what it
It's
is,
a
Larry.
Fuck yeah.
deep sex trafficking web.
That Tongue
Hey.
the Kid, that Sika, that Appa, that this shit goes all the way back to Jess McMahon, to the McMahon before the McMahons.
Just so
grandmother.
everyone knows, breaking news: Kyle Gass and Jack Black have made up, and Tenacious D
That makes me happy.
is
All
no
right,
longer
good.
broken
That
up and
hurt us.
estranged.
That hurt us. That hurt like our style. You know what I mean? Our stylings. Didn't that hurt? That
That's
really
awesome.
hurt me
It
to
hurt.
the core of our
It hurt.
style.
It hurt because I don't
Yeah,
need.
bro.
Right here.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't need my Jack
right
Black
here.
to believe in anything hard enough
right
that he
here.
would.
No, I want him to fuck her gently and then fuck her hard. That's all I want out of my Jack Black.
Pat is unhinged. By the way, just as a final note, fuck you, Bren. Larry hates you. I fucking hate you.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
And Sean hates you too.
Well, I guess I hate you now, bro.
We hate
Guess
Brett?
what? Prince
so.
and Brian hate you too. Guess what, guys? Breaking news before we end the show.
Brent, I'm sorry. I guess we hate
Next week, we know for
Brett was talking
sure.
shit?
Now, Larry, I don't know your schedule. You're very busy. I know that you're a CCW Hall of Famer. You have many bookings during the week, during the life. But next week, I know
gotta
for
do
sure.
What is it? What is the date?
Next week, I know for sure that Brian is not going to be able to make the show. So I am calling upon Prince Havoc from Wednesday night Drunk GM Mode to be our special guest in replacement of Brian on Tuesday.
Great.
Then on Wednesday, I'm inviting
I
Brian.
don't know, Pat. I don't know.
Larry, have you ever heard of Shark Week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so next week is like
Oh, yeah.
mashup week for bullies.
Pat, I mean, you know me. I'm gonna go with the flow, but isn't this the person that is the reason we're on this now and Jedi Joe is not on this? Isn't
Well,
this
the
that
one person who's not going to be appearing next week on any of the programs is definitely Jedi Joe.
But isn't this the person that Jedi Joe left? Here comes the lame, because
So on
bad-
Tuesday,
because-
Brian is not going to be available. So we have our Wednesday night person being on Tuesday, and then we're going to have a Tuesday person being on
That's
Wednesday,
what I said.
and a Wednesday person being on Thursday.
Do we need that? Do we need
It's
that?
Shark
Pat?
Week,
I'm just
Larry.
saying, do we need that, bro? I don't think we need it. I think
Listen
it's
to
just like a thing that you want to do, but I don't think we fucking need that. If Brian's not going to be there, Brian's not going to
Listen to me
Brian's
very
gonna be
closely.
there.
I'm just
Larry-
Brian will be there.
reacting to the
Larry-
shit that you're
Brian
will
reacting
be
right
there.
now to me live on this cast, bro. I don't think we need that,
Ryan's
but
gonna be there.
okay.
Just
Oh,
listen to me
fucking
very
day.
listen
Brian's
to me
gonna
very
be there.
I'm
closely.
just saying. I'm
Brian's
just
gonna be there.
saying.
Just listen to what I'm about to say.
Hey, Pat, real quick.
Oh yes.
So, Brian will be there next week.
Are you sure?
I'm positive he's going to be there. It's the
He
following
is.
week that he said he's not going to be there.
So
So
next.
I guess we'll discuss it after, and then we'll figure it out. But Larry, I do think we're going to have a guest.
Listen. All you need to do.
Okay. I can't. Okay, guess. Let's do it. Let's just guess it up. I don't give a fuck.
Here
I will
is
be there.
what is
I will be there
happening.
for no guest or guest. I will be there regardless of what's going on. I will be.
Thank you.
in
That's all.
attendance.
That's all I ask. That's really
I'll be
all
there.
I ask.
I'll be there.
And here's what's going
Don't
to happen.
worry about it. I don't
Here's
give a
what's
fuck. I'll
happening
be
going
there.
forward. Moving forward, you are going to see me, Ringside Sean, Larry Legend, and Bad Take Bri on Tuesdays on Boulevard Bullies versus the World. On Wednesday
Yes,
nights,
you will.
you are going to see
Yes, you
me
will.
and Prince Havoc on GM Mode
Drunk
2K23.
GM mode. Yes, you will.
GM Mode, Drunk GM Mode. And Sean,
And
I'm here, baby.
Thursdays, the
and
flagship show.
Sean, once me
Look.
and Prince finish season 1 of GM Mode, we are going to do 2024 GM mode every Wednesday night in a 3-way. Me, you, and Prince on Wednesday nights. And then on Thursday, it's going to be me and Larry Legend doing Here Comes the Lame about all the wrestling news, and on shows immediately following pay-per-views, Sean, you will guest star be here on Thursdays. So you ready, Larry? Everybody,
I like it.
Everybody get your heads ready.
We're packing the fun.
Tuesday nights, it's me, you, Brian, Sean, Larry, all the people. Here comes
all of us.
Versus the World. Versus the World.
First.
If we get guests, I want cheeseburger.
One cheeseburger.
The first guest.
I want cheeseburger to talk to us about wrestling.
The first Tuesday of September, we are going to have Cheeseburger as a guest. Then
I got to ring announce Cheeseburger.
Wednesdays with Prince, late night, the late show, until one of us has to buy 2K24 for the other person. In which case, the very next week after that, me, Sean, and Prince will be doing 2K24 GM mode every Wednesday night. And then on Thursdays, every week, you can find me and Larry doing this stuff, unless it's the week after a pay-per-view, in which case Sean will join us.
Oh, my God. You're Tony Khan. You're Tony Khan. You're Tony Khan.
I figured it all out.
You're Tony Khan.
And I'll tell you this, guys. After everything I just laid out, 1 month from now, if you see me by myself doing every single one of those shows,
I'll be there, bro. I will be there. I will fucking be there for everything you said. My ass will be there for. I'll be there.
Sean, say the same thing about your ass.
I guarantee my ass will be parked in this goddamn chair to be here with you every Wednesday night to stream 2K24.
11:29, baby.
11:29, baby.
11:29, baby. You got us.
Hey, I just want to thank both of you personally for going 11 minutes over. Both of you.
You got it. Hey.
What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say?
What did he just say?
11:29, you got us.
What did I just say?
11:29, you got us.
So tune in
shows
every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday for the most fucking disturbing content.
Fucking day, bro. Fuck it.
All right, bye.
We're here.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
Sorry I was late.
Cheers.
Well, when I'm late, I'm on time. When I'm late, I'm on time. Tell them about it.
Yeah.
I'm late on time.
Yeah.
I'm on time when I'm...
I had the music playing over you saying that. Okay. Dude, just taking the Slavic comment and making it a song is my new favorite thing to do in the world. You guys hate it. It's like, yo, but it's just, I just love it. I just think it's very, very fun. Yo, Larry, can I tell you something?